a front row seat to the untold stories as we talk about how to live life on your terms. You're officially part of the inner circle. Welcome to Courtside with Courtney. And don't worry, I comped your ticket. Welcome back to another episode of Courtside with Courtney. Today, I want to get into something that I think is life-changing. Let's talk about getting out of your comfort zone, how to do it, tips, why I think it's good for you, and why I think, honestly, everybody at any age should be getting out of their comfort zone. I truly believe that getting out of your comfort zone is one of the quickest and most efficient ways to find growth as a person, whether it's in friendships, in your relationships, like romantic relationships, in your job, personal self-growth, whether it's like a workout routine, anything like that. Getting out of your comfort zone is where you are going to find the growth. I think about this analogy even with working out. When you pick up a heavier weight or you try something new, like you're hitting muscles that you don't normally activate. You're doing things that are going to grow you because they're different and they're out of your comfort zone. And same could be said emotionally, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Like it truly is so important as a human being to not just stay in the places that we're comfortable, but in fact, to get out of our comfort zone. So I thought we could just talk about this today, my personal experiences. And like I said, just things that I think have really helped me over time. I think one of the easiest ways to push yourself out of your comfort zone is like signing up for things that maybe you wouldn't normally do, trying a new workout class. I remember the first time I went to Pilates. I'm a generally very athletic person. I played competitive sports my whole life, and like I can pretty much pick up anything athletically, except y'all know I suck at riding a bike, which is like a whole other topic. But doing things that are outside of your comfort zone, like Pilates, for example, ended up being one of my favorite workouts. I still do it at least 2 times a week now. But there was a time when I'd never tried Pilates. I was kind of intimidated by it because it isn't natural. Like it's not something that just comes to you. You're standing on this reformer, and especially if you're used to feeling athletic and like you know what you're doing, you get on a Pilates reformer and you will feel like a baby giraffe very quickly. But it's one of those things that now is like one of my favorite workouts, like top 2 favorite workouts of all time. I've loved what it's done for me physically, mentally, all the things because I just pushed myself and I got out of my comfort zone. Some of my favorite friendships and like people that I cherish dearly have been because I went up and complimented someone and say, hey, like I really like your jewelry. Like, what's your name? Just getting out of your comfort zone causes and like can really attract so many great things in your life, but you have to be willing to do it. You have to like get your ass up off the couch. This is relevant when it comes to dating too. There's so many people that say, well, how do you find your person? Or how do you find like someone that's a good fit for you? I feel like, it's just going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And it's like this fine line between trusting God, trusting the universe, and knowing that like, there is only so much you can do, but like, listen, God gave you legs, babe. Like get up and walk. Like get up and get the fuck out of your house because you have to put yourself in situations where you could potentially meet someone. Like you have to get out there, go to the coffee shop, take a workout class, go on a walk, hang out with your friend group, like go to dinner, go to the driving range. Like you need to get yourself in situations where you could meet someone. You're probably not going to meet someone sitting on your couch. And if that is your consistent routine and comfort zone, you're going to stay stuck where you are. I feel like a lot of people don't leave their comfort zone because they're scared of the world a little bit. We're scared of rejection. Everyone's been in a place where they're scared of rejection. But really, if you think about the concept of rejection, it's all about your ego. Because it really is positive progress forward. Rejection can be positive progress forward if you leave your ego at the door and your expectation at the door. Take relationships, for example. If your ultimate goal is to find the right person for you, to find a lifelong partner, to find your man, like whatever it is, like if your ultimate goal is to find that, then getting rejected by some guy at the bar who isn't into you is completely and utterly irrelevant. Like who gives a fuck? His opinion is irrelevant because that's just not your guy. It's so easy when you think about it like that. It's easy to get out of your comfort zone and go say hi to someone because you realize that you're putting yourself out there. You're giving yourself the potential to meet someone, to have a conversation, to have them introduce you to someone. Like you're putting yourself out there and giving yourself the opportunity to end up visible and in a good situation that you won't do if you don't go up to that person, based on the fact that you are scared of getting rejection or getting rejected, but it's literally all ego-based. If you think about it like that, if you can strip your ego away and say like, man, like this guy ended up having a girlfriend and he rejected me, or he said, you know what? Like, I'm not into it. I'm not in a place where I can date. Like, whatever it is, like, you're not his type. Like, whatever the reason is that this person isn't into you, it's literally irrelevant because I just wasn't your person, which you wouldn't want anyways. So if you can separate your ego, I have found over years that if you pull apart your ego, it's not a blow. Like, it doesn't sting, it doesn't hurt. The rejection isn't rejection. It's like the cheesy quote where people are like, rejection is just redirection. But it's true because all it is you realizing and getting one step closer to what you do want. You're putting it out there, like telling the universe, this is what I want. I'm energetically open to things happening for me because I'm out there and I'm doing things, but I'm doing them without expectation. Like, I'm doing them just for the plot, kind of. Like, you kind of have to get out there and have fun. It's what I talked about a couple of weeks ago when it comes to like dating with intention. Like, what is your intention? If your intention, my intention is like to ultimately find the right person for me. But my intention in the beginning is to have fun because I want to see if I can have fun with this person. And then you dig in and then you see like if this person could be a good long-term fit for you. We have to stop overthinking everything. So it's one of those things where you take the ego out of it and being rejected isn't really being rejected because isn't it? I'm going to play this full situation out for you guys. So you go up to some guy at a bar, you see like a really hot guy that you want to talk to. He's not going to come over to you. You smile, you give him a little signal. You're going over there to talk to this man at the bar. You're going to be the one that approaches, which can be hot, right? Can be a vibe. It's rare for me, but I will do it in very specific situations. Like, a lot of times I do want the guy to come up, but like, you see the hottest guy you've ever seen and you're like, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot because why the hell not? So say you walk up to this guy, it could go one of two ways. You go up and you shoot your shot and he's about it. Like, he's excited. He's into it. He wanted to come up to you, but he was too shy. You guys hit it off. Like, it ends up going really well. He gets your number. Option two, he's not interested for whatever reason. Say he has a girlfriend. Say you go up and you're like, hey, like saying what's up to him, like just having a conversation. And then, hey, do you have a girlfriend? He says, yes, I do. You say, okay. Explanation one is, oh my God, dagger to the heart. Like, I'm so embarrassed. He didn't like me. Like, this guy didn't want me. Like, this is awful. This is so embarrassing. Like, I'm never going up to somebody like ever again. Like, this was terrible. I don't feel pretty. He completely rejected me. Let me go crawl in a hole and die. Like, that's how a lot of people feel in that situation. How I would feel in that situation is, oh, that's awesome. Like, what's she like? This just isn't your person. Okay, cool. No big deal. Like, it's not personal. It's not about you because he has a girlfriend. The guy's happy. Like, good on him. On to the next situation. You don't know. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You don't know. That could be your husband right there. And if you hadn't said anything, like, you would absolutely never know, or you would always wonder. Now you know. And it's no big deal. He, like, quote, rejected you, but really it's not personal. It's not about you. He didn't say like, I don't think you're cool. I don't think you're smart. I don't think you're nice. I don't think you're pretty. I don't think that you have any value to add. He just said, I'm with someone else. And you at that point have to respect that. Like, that's amazing. She's a lucky girl. Walk away. You know, like, there is nothing negative about that. He didn't insult you. He didn't say anything mean to you. If you're questioning your value, that's because you question your value. If you need to build up your confidence, I strongly suggest you listen to the confidence episode. Like, you work on building up your confidence before you go up and do that. But that can be a way to build up your confidence, you guys. It can actually feel like sometimes in situations like that, when you play something out and your worst fear comes true and you realize like, oh, it wasn't that bad. You know, like when you go up to someone and you're like, oh, they're like, oh, I have a girlfriend. You're like, that's amazing. Like, lucky girl, good on her. And you walk away, you realize like that didn't suck. Like, that actually wasn't terrible. That wasn't embarrassing. That wasn't mortifying. Like, it's no big deal at all. I also want to say this, you guys. I was recently out and there's this guy that I knew. We have mutuals. And he ends up like kind of flirting with me, which made me uncomfortable. And I was like, like not into it at all. I asked him because I had a weird intuition about it. I asked him straight up. I was like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? And he goes, yeah, I do. But she's in another zip code. You guys, the way my blood boiled for this woman, I was like so mad. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I think I said something along the lines of like, well, you really shouldn't be acting like this then. Or like, if that's how you feel, like maybe you should have a conversation with her because that's like pretty messed up, right? Like that is not, I mean, I'm such a girl's girl to my core that I wanted to like punch this dude in the face. That's where my mind goes. But I want to say this, if there happens to be any men listening or women listening, that is not cute. Like that is not attractive. I feel like if you go up to a guy out and they're like, oh, I have a girlfriend, I'd be like, that's amazing. Like I said, she's a lucky girl. That's so attractive. 10 out of 10 times, you are going to be more attractive if you respect the person that you're with, that you're interested in. Absolutely no, there's no version of life or there's like no world where being like, yeah, but she's not here. Like you look like such a loser. Just know that. And no girl, as a woman, you should see that and respect it. When a guy says that they have a girlfriend, obviously, or they're seeing someone, they're talking to someone, respect it and walk away. But if a guy says to you something like that, yeah, but she's not here, just know that guy has low morals and low character. And if he does that with you, he'll do it to you. That's absolutely not cute or funny or like a blessing at all. Like that's not flattering. That's like such an it. Our culture has become so accustomed to just like complain, complain, complain. I'm never going to get the right job. I'm always going to be miserable. I'm never going to have the body I want. I'm never going to have the man I want. I'm never going to get what I want. Get off your ass and do something about it. And I think here's the deal. There's a fine line. Get off your ass and do something about it, meaning put yourself in a winning position. Better yourself. Look in the mirror, say, where could I be better? How could I be the partner that I want to attract? How can I be a person I'm really proud of? How can I get all of these things? Like, how can I put myself in the best position to win? That does not mean forcing things. That does not mean like the tighter you hold on to something, sometimes if you squeeze something, the squirmier somebody gets. Like the last thing that you want to do if you really like someone or something is like squeeze it and the person's just like trying to get free. Like that is the last thing that you want. So I do not mean force situations, but better yourself, put yourself in places, get your ass off the couch, put yourself in places that you can win. Because if you can do that and learn to live energetically detached, you have a magic winning combo. Let's talk about how to live energetically unattached, because this is like an entire episode, but I want to touch on this in the getting out of your comfort zone episode because I do think this is really key. When you get out of your comfort zone, I want you guys to view situations as opportunities, okay? Opportunities for growth, opportunities to strengthen your self-confidence, and opportunities to up your game, basically to up level your life and yourself in every way. In every shitty situation that I have been in, I have taken deeply shitty things. I'm talking death and abuse and grief and all these deeply, deeply shitty things, divorce. I've taken these things and I've made motherfucking lemonade out of the most tart, rotten, miserable lemons you can ever imagine. I've taken horrible things, and this is my key to success, you guys. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom. I have taken the shittiest things in the darkest tunnels and I have lit a match and painted that bitch rainbow. You have to start changing your mindset. You have to start reframing things if you want to live your best life. Get out of your comfort zone, do things that make you uncomfortable, and learn to check your anxiety. We all get it. I almost had a full-blown anxiety attack at the bar the other night. It's a whole other topic. But learn to check yourself and view experiences and situations as opportunities for self-growth. Let me give you a tangible example. If you go through a breakup, I want you guys to look at the breakup and analyze, what could I have done better? Maybe you feel as though you were a great partner to the person. It always takes two to tango. So figure out like where you were wrong. But maybe sometimes where you were wrong is like lowering your self-worth, lowering your value, and like giving somebody access to you that didn't deserve it. Maybe that's where you went wrong. Maybe you were insecure and you like weren't confident in who you were and pushed the person away. Like whatever it is, analyze the situation so you don't lessen, repeat, like I always say, and then use this for an opportunity for growth. Look at this and say, damn, like I'm grateful this person broke up with me, rejected me, did this thing, cheated on me, whatever it is, because now I don't have to end up with someone that is not the right person for me for my whole life. That is such a blessing. Okay, so if somebody cheats on you, your outlook can be, this is the worst thing ever. And it sucks. Like, I'm not saying that these things don't suck. Like, obviously, I've said this before, but if I could wave a magic wand, like, I just don't want any of this to get twisted. If I could wave a magic wand and have to like undo certain things in my life and not have to deal with grief and all these things, like, obviously, I wouldn't wish that stuff on my worst enemy. But that's just not how life works. I don't get to choose. You don't get to choose. This is what we're dealt with. We have these pieces and we're like trying to make the most beautiful piece of art that we can with the paint colors that we've been given and the paintbrush that we've been given and the canvas that we've been given. And that's just kind of all you fucking have. Like, you have what you have. Do you want to mix your colors? Do you want to layer them? Do you want to add texture? Do you want to pour them together? Do you want to paint it all one thing? Do you want to redo it and start over? Like, how you paint your canvas is entirely up to you, but that's the canvas you got. Like, that is what you have. So deal with it, right? Like, deal with it in the best way that you can. You can't control things. Like, you just can't. You can't live your life like that. So instead of sitting around if someone cheats on you and saying, this is the worst possible thing that could have happened to me, it's actually the best possible thing that could have happened to you, because you just realized that this man or woman or whoever sucks and you avoided a crisis. Like, mission aborted. I don't have to deal with this crusty, dusty loser anymore. And I'm good. Like, I'm free. I'm happy. Life is good, right? Like, I've told you guys this story on TikTok before, but the time I was talking to, well, dating a guy, and this, like, I knew that he was texting another girl, and bing, the text popped up on his phone. And it's on my TikTok if you guys missed it, but it's from a long time ago. But I was telling that story, and it's like, and at the time I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I was so mad and I was so frustrated and I was so hurt. But now I look back on that and I'm like, what a blessing that I saw that. Like, that's such a God wink to see that and be like, man, I knew in that moment your character, and I don't have to like date somebody who that's their character. Like, if you lied, like, good on you. I'm out. And that could be said like anything. That could be anything in life, right? Like, I haven't wanted to go through and experience certain things I've experienced, and I don't get to choose that. Like I said, neither do you. So choose your silver linings. Paint that dark ass tunnel sparkly rainbow. Like, paint it hot pink, paint it bright gold. Like, you are in the tunnel, light that bitch up and paint it. Like, make it pretty. It's just, this is your life. Like, this is what you have. How are you going to choose to handle it? Because that will shape the outcome of your entire life. I know people who something happened to them in middle school and they're still complaining about it to this day. They're miserable. They're 30 something years old. And that one time, that one thing did them in, and they can't believe it. And now, if I would have only gotten this chance, and it's like, you wake up and you have over 300 chances a year. Pick something different. Choose something different. Stop, like, no matter what you've been through, stop leaving yourself in the hole. Like, it's time to climb out. It's time to crawl out. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out, light a match in that bitch, and do something about it, because you are the only one that can help you. Like, you wake up with you, relationships, friendships, family, kids, work, like, all that aside, at the end of the day, you can't escape you. And you're your best friend. You're going to wake up next to yourself. You're going to go to bed next to yourself, no matter what. Every single day, you have a choice to choose to be kind to yourself, to be proud of yourself, to do something that is going to make you better every single day. Are you doing it? Like, ask yourself that question. Are you doing it? Because if you aren't doing it, how are you going to go and complain that you don't have the job you want? How are you going to go and complain that you don't have the man you want? How are you going to go and complain that you don't have the friend group that you want, the body that you want, the closet that you want, the mentality that you want, the hair you want? How are you going to go and complain about anything when you're not doing anything about it? Not to give you guys tough love, but like, damn, some of y'all need it. And this isn't to say that you can't go and have a day where you just feel sorry for yourself. Trust me, this isn't like toxic positivity. I've had days when I'm like, it sucks and I hate it here. And then the next day I'm like, okay, I wallowed for the day. Time to get up. It's a new day. I remember my mom told me when I was like super sad in high school, I like just gone through a breakup and I was like so sad. And I remember thinking like, this is the worst day ever. And I was like 17 or something. And my mom was like, you know what, Court, this sucks, but the sun is going to rise tomorrow. And the day after that, and the day after that. And the minute that you have that mentality and that you're you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and experience new things, get rejected, like do things that you don't want to do, you will have an exponentially better life. It can be little things. I played volleyball the other day. Some of my friends invited me because we all play volleyball. Like my friend group all plays volleyball on Sundays, and I hadn't been. And I used to play, backstory, I used to play competitive volleyball growing up, and I really don't like being bad at things. I'll say it, I really don't. Like I'm competitive and I like to win. I really do. And I'm like used to being good at things like that in sports. And so if I haven't played something in years, literally 15 years, like it's that is so out of my comfort zone because I don't want to go and get on the court. Cause like what if I suck now and I can't play? And that's kind of embarrassing. And my friends were like, no, just like, come on, get out there. Who cares? Like it doesn't matter. If you suck, you suck. Like whatever, it's not a big deal. Like just come play with us. It's just for fun. And I sat there talking to Allie for like, was it like 3 games? And then finally they were like, just come. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like I'll bump around a little. And then literally I get out there and I had so much fun. Was I as good as I was when I was playing travel competitive volleyball? Like obviously not. But like it was fine. It was fun. And like I slowly like got it back again. It's a muscle, but I chose to get out of my comfort zone. And I was proud of myself, not because I played volleyball, but because I got out of my comfort zone. And we have to choose, you have to actively choose to pursue different paths than you're used to taking. You have to actively go and say yes to the workout that you don't want to do, to submit your job application to the job that you're scared is not even going to see it and reject you. Like you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to find your best possible life. My biggest fear, and I hope that I impart my biggest fear on you guys today, okay? My biggest fear is not ending up rejected, ending up alone, ending up, bro, like none of that is my biggest fear. My biggest fear is not taking the risk and not having this is hard to explain, but not getting the best possible outcome for my life. My biggest fear is like not realizing my potential in every aspect, whether it's my career as a mom, my relationships, anything, like not living to my fullest potential is my biggest fear. Not taking the risk, not opening the door, not walking through it, not going down the road and on the adventure because I sat on my couch and I got scared and I didn't want to put myself out there and I didn't want to like look like that. And that's weird and post a picture and that's cringe. And it's like, who gives a fuck? My biggest fear is not any of that. My biggest fear is not what other people think. I don't give two fucks what other people think. My biggest fear is not saying yes and ending up in some lesser than, lower, mediocre, bullshit version of what could have been the most beautiful life. That is my biggest fear. And I hope that after listening to this episode, that will be your biggest fear too, because that's the only damn thing that should scare you. Everything else is kind of a toss up and it's out of your control. And when you start to view life like this and you can live energetically unattached, everything opens up and everything is more beautiful and you're not squeezing the life out of every situation, holding onto it so tight and gripping the reins and like hoping that you're not gonna fall out and like life's a roller coaster. Buckle up, babe. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Living energetically unattached to me looks like this. And I don't want anything that is not for me. Because if I try to hold on so tightly to things that aren't for me. And don't get me wrong, I have done it a million times. I still struggle with it to this day. But if you try to control things and muscle through it and hold on so tightly and force it and like, this person seems nice, so like, let me try to date them and let me like stay in this job because it's like, I can make it work and like, it's going to be fine. And even though I'm miserable, the tighter you hold to something that isn't for you, the more miserable you will be. I promise you. The minute that you learn to start doing things to walk down a path rather than doing things to control an outcome, you're doing things for the experience and you're enjoying it along the way. You're doing things for the journey. You're enjoying it along the way. The more you can embrace the journey that is so uniquely just yours and get out of your comfort zone while you do so, the more beautiful your life will be. Let go of your attachment to the outcome. I don't know what's going to happen, and neither do you. You don't know if you're going to meet that person. You don't know where you're going to meet that person. You don't know if you're going to date them, get engaged, get married, stay married. You don't know those things. All you know is what you have in this present moment. And all you can do is show up as the best, most healed, loving, evolved version of yourself on a daily basis and hope that like you attract the right things and you get off your couch. And the right things then will come to you when you put yourself in those winning positions. But it's really this magic in the fabric of doing something about it and doing nothing about it. Like it's where doing something and doing nothing meet that the magic happens, because you have to get out there and put yourself in those winning positions. And you have to put yourself in a position to succeed and to meet people and to be seen while also doing nothing. So it's doing enough and not squeezing too hard at the same time. And where those two things meet, the crux of where those things like weave in the fabric that is doing something and doing nothing together, like that's the magic of life. When you sit in that sweet spot, everything is better because you realize that you are willing and able to walk down a road and see where it leads you without trying to control the outcome. If you can do that, doors will always open. If you can live from that abundant place of there is enough and there will always be enough and I'm enough, everything will change for you because you aren't holding on so tightly to the things that aren't for you. The more you do that, the more you prolong your pain. If you're in a relationship and you're not happy, get out. Because the tighter you squeeze that person and that relationship and that thing, the drier and more miserable it gets. And at the end of the day, you are prolonging your own happiness. You're prolonging meeting that person. You are prolonging putting yourself in a position to actually be happy and to be where you are. You have to, for lack of a better, more feminine way to say this, you have to have the balls to do something about it. You really do. And then put yourself in that winning position while realizing like I'm letting go and I'm on the roller coaster and I'm strapped in. So I'm just going to put my hands up and yell as I go around the loops because like I actually don't have control over what's happening right now. Like I can want this all I possibly can, and it's not necessarily going to change the outcome. So the more energetically unattached you learn to live, the more confident, the more happy, and the better your life will be because you realize that you are not in it to force anything. You are not in it to play out your version and vision for something. You are just in it to sit back, to kick back, to observe, and to let life happen, not to you, but for you. When you can let life happen for you, you are doing things and you're doing nothing at the same time. It's so hard to explain, but I hope I'm making sense. But it's like this really beautiful synergy between getting out there and actively pursuing passions and self-growth and friendships and these things without forcing it. Follow the waves. Follow the energy, like where it goes, and absolutely everything will open up for you. I promise. I want to end this episode by challenging you guys to do one thing that gets you out of your comfort zone, whether it is something simple like taking that workout class or going up to someone and saying hi, hitting on a guy at a bar, like wearing an outfit that you normally wouldn't wear in a color that you've always wanted to try, painting your nails like a fun color, like cutting your hair, like whatever it is, get out of your comfort zone. I challenge you guys to do something, at least just one thing. Just give me one thing this week that you do. You challenge yourself. If you do it, take a selfie, take a picture, take a mirror photo, take a photo of you on your walk. Like, I don't care what it is. You don't even have to be in it. Just take a photo of yourself. Tell me what you did and tag me because I really want to see you guys getting out of your comfort zone this week. I love you. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on all the places that you obviously should be or you're missing out. Duh. Love you guys. Bye.